the free training, the 25K a month copywriter formula. Now, as questions arise, go ahead and drop them into the questions section if we have that open. And if we don't, then go ahead and drop it in the chat and I'll be reviewing that later. Marianne, if you could help me keep an eye on that, that'd be awesome, because today I have some extra time for you guys so I can stay and answer questions. Dude, look at that funny ass face I'm making. That's like totally in front of the green screen. All right. But first, I have to tell you guys again about me. If you haven't already heard, if you're new to this, to me and like what I've done and who I am, I have very, very humble beginnings. You know, a lot of people think that I was like born with a silver spoon in my mouth, or I guess any guru, quote unquote guru. I'm not a fucking guru, but guru online, you know, people will call him out and be like, oh, he's a trust funder. Oh, that's why he's in that fucking penthouse. But no, I worked at Costco, scraping rotten chicken grease and cooking rotisserie chickens. And that's me in my outfit. That's like a gas mask because I'm spraying this like skin melting chemical on the freaking hoods right above me. And somebody got some of that chemical on their apron there. It burned through the rubber apron. It burned through the smock and their t-shirt, and it made their nipples black. And so I would inhale this shit and just realize like, wow, I can't believe this. I'm making $11 an hour to do this, which, you know, depending on the country you're from is not bad, but still for the price of rent and shit where I was, that was terrible. But things did get worse. So this was the moment I said, screw it. I actually climbed up on top of this mountain. And this is a very unhinged confession because I'm giving you guys all the raw freaking stuff right now. Yes, I was on LSD right here. I don't really do stuff like that often. And now I'm 100% sober. But I really just felt like a moment in my life where I just like didn't really want to keep going down the same road. So I felt inspired to take that. And then I hiked up this crazy ass mountain. And this is the exact moment I decided to quit my job. I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm quitting my job. Then I took this photo. And then the very next day, I'm a quick action taker. Okay. And I know how to train people to be quick action takers as well. So I wrote my notice and I turned it in. And I only had about 5 to 6K saved, by the way. And it was really expensive to live in this area. So I'll continue. All right. So then the next logical thing for me was to move to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And yes, it was a rough cartel ghetto. Anything to the east of, actually, no, to the west of CTM is a ghetto, just so you know. I didn't know that. So I actually ended up in this hood, but my rent was cheap. It was like $300. I was a 2-block walk from this awesome, like wooden style outdoor gym. And then there's just some art there. And like, this is a copywriter group I started. So I highly recommend, you know, even though I was a beginner at copywriting, I went ahead and started a copywriting meetup. And so a bunch of people making a lot more than me showed up and they were able to give me advice, and they viewed me as an authority in the space, even though I knew nothing. I just started a meetup, you know, and I was very transparent about where I was in my journey, but people didn't care. They still wanted to help me. So little pro tip for anybody who's abroad. And literally, I would do this in any city I go to. My first copy job was $2.90 an hour. That didn't last too long, just like about a month and a half to 2 months. Then eventually I worked up to 10 an hour and a little bit more after. But y'all have to start somewhere, you know? So this is where I started. And this was actually a really smart thing to do. So I'm not playing a victim whatsoever, but it was really hard and I don't recommend it. Actually, depends on who you are. Okay, so fast forward to today. I have fulfilled a promise I made to my grandma 10 years ago of paying her bills. I moved into a top floor apartment with a view of the ocean and moved my parents in with me. And I traveled the world in 5-star resorts, working 5 to 10 hours a week when I choose to go into that mode of my life. Now, I do work more than that generally because I choose to and I want to, and I love doing stuff like this and these free trainings. But for this month and a half period that I decided to take off, I didn't work that much, you know, because I had built up a really good system for myself and just had minimal clients, you know, making 25, 30K a month, like 1 to 2 proteges. And yeah, it was a blast. Still is. So without further ado, this is the exact strategy so that you can do the exact same thing for yourself in your life and business and accomplish life of your wildest dreams. So first, it comes with copywriting mastery. So you have to be an A+ copywriter, or you don't have to be, but you at least need to understand how to generate A+ copywriting that drives an action. Now, the good news is with AI, this has been easier than ever. Oh my gosh, like everybody in the space right now, well, not everybody, but a few people enter my inbox saying like, oh, Christian, like so-and-so said copywriting's dead. It's like so scary. It's like, dude, I literally say, hey, give me 10 ideas in the ChatGPT. Then I say, okay, write an email on this using a Gary Halpert tone. And then it does. You know, I write my own emails for my own list and my own content and stuff. But for clients and stuff, heck yeah, we're all using AI. Like that's no secret, you know, and even the big clients, like my giant, 12-figure client that is a self-development guru that bought his mom an island, hands down the biggest live presentation self-development guru in the entire space. You can use your imagination. Even their entire team uses AI and stuff, and they're okay with it, and business owners, we're in this gray area now where business owners are still down to pay a premium for copywriting, especially for people that know what good copywriting looks like, like me and my students. And yeah, it's like super easy too, because, I'm charging 5, 6, or 7K a month for one email a day. And I can write all the emails for the week in like 30 minutes to an hour using AI. It's crazy. And it's never been easier before. I would not say passive income because that's funny. That's a funny term to me, but it's definitely a little bit more hands-off, a lot more hands-off than it's ever been in history. And copywriting is not going anywhere. This is the strongest, like most thriving industry ever. It's like saying sales is going away, bro. Like we're not sales. It's like, no, we always have to sell stuff, always. So it doesn't matter if you're doing the writing manually or AI is doing the writing. Somebody has to plug in the copy to the email marketing system and to the funnel and all that. And yeah, it's a very beautiful thing. So next is tech expertise. So this includes knowing how to set up emails that are, being sent automatically in an automation. That's what we call it. Or fixing email deliverability, like copying and pasting a couple files over into, where you host your website. Super easy, basic, simple stuff. And then managing, the entire email software as a whole, email service provider. That's what ESP stands for. Okay, so strategic execution, this means planning entire email campaigns that drive revenue. So I'll get into more specifics in a little bit. We just got to start really high level right now. But yeah, just understanding overarching strategy and making this work. Now, if you don't have a strategy, it's way, 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 way harder to close clients, keep clients, and really do anything with email marketing. It's awesome because I have a nailed down strategy for literally every step of the process for, just about every type of client, because I've written for over like 45 different niches. I have 22,000 email swipes. It's like I've written nearly every dang type of email you could possibly think of. And I've also studied all the stats and the data. And so I have a plan for literally everything. And you don't have to have one either, but you definitely need to leverage it from somebody else if you don't have one. Otherwise, your odds of like actually keeping a client, let's say it takes you forever to close a client. You finally get your first client ever, but then you fuck it up the first week. It's like, yeah, it's not pretty. You need a strategy, you need a plan. And once you have it though, it's really easy to actually execute. So here's why my clients stay for 12 plus months. And yes, I have clients that have even stayed for 2 years or more, and so basically it's because copywriters, they get churned and worked through about every 2 to 3 months because business owners are always trying to, update their business, optimize, feel like they're like unturning every single stone they possibly can. And so you can easily replace a copywriter and then a new copywriter can do way better than a previous copywriter. But, with a full stack email marketer, this should say email marketer, not just full stack marketer. With a full stack email marketer, you're learning more and more about the list all the time and going deeper and deeper with their problems. So the clients need you. You're a valuable asset, not just a freelancer, because you understand their stats better than them, because you're in there writing the email every day saying, oh, got a good open rate. Oh, got a good click-through rate. It's very easy. You just like look at the open and click rate, and then you're like, okay, let's try this new angle tomorrow. Then boom, there you go. So you are a hardcore asset. And the longer you have the list, the harder it gets to replace you. Like, a lot of people think that this is like very scary, but like it's not. It's very simple. And I've even made, big mistakes on clients, and they've still kept me because they know they need me, because I'm so deep into their business as far as email marketing that I'm not going anywhere. So this is the path right here. If you want to stack retainers and make $25K a month, you have to become a full stack email marketer. Hands down, the easiest path is copywriting. And hands down, the best way to get into copywriting for complete beginners on this call is to get into email marketing, because it's the shortest form of copy you can write, which makes it the easiest. You can get clients on retainer because clients always need lots of emails. You're sending them every day. It's not just like, hey, here, write a funnel and you're done, which I can do as well. And it's fun, but I don't offer that to clients. Like I just do email marketing. That's it. I just write the emails and I know how to send it. That's it. Super simple. So you get more referrals, which means less client chasing, because let's be honest, like the hardest part about this is spending free, it feels like working for free to get clients in the beginning. But really with my simple systems and formula for getting clients, it's not. It doesn't feel like putting an effort to work for free. It feels like you're out there just like networking and making friends. And if it leads to deals, great. And if not, they'll refer you to someone else that has a good deal for you, etc. So the cool thing about being a full stack email marketer is very few people know how to actually do it. It's crazy. So like when you learn how to become a full stack email marketer, you stand above everybody else, because there's a sea. Think of like an ocean of copywriters out there. It's like a red ocean. And then you can turn around, you can be a full stack email marketer, and then all of a sudden you have a blue ocean, because nobody knows how to actually send the emails to a really high degree and has like a really high level strategy. Like there's a reason why people are paying me $10,000 for 10 1-hour calls. Okay. And I'm more than happy to spend my time with you guys today because I love you guys and I love the community, and this is what I live for. All right. It's not all about money. So clients beg you to work with them, because they're like, hey, this guy actually knows his stuff. And now, even if you don't have social proof, that's the crazy thing. People look at me and they're like, oh, Christian, like you have all this success because of all your social proof. It's like, no, I was closing 5K a month retainers before I had any good social proof. Okay. Like, yeah, sure. I had written and sent emails. I had samples and I had an idea of like some strategies in my head that I created, but it's not like I, had nearly the success I did now. Like, how do you think I got into the position to start working for the Hermosis, biggest clients, and then also Russell Brunson, also that secret self-development guru who bought his mom an island in Fiji? Like, how do you think I got into those positions? By working my way up slowly and still closing 5K retainers along the entire journey. So prospects are eager to jump on sales calls because they're already sold on you for the most part. Like more than a copywriter, like there's a reason, as long as you use my scripts and you say, use my templates for like what to say and like say something intelligent when you go out to get clients, they'll be eager to jump on a sales call with you. In fact, they'll be harassing you. Like I have a lot of clients that will like be hunting me down. Like, hey, can we please get on that call for 500 to 1,000 an hour? And they'll be like hunting me down. I'll be like postponing it because I'm doing stuff, sometimes. But then they're hunting me down because they see the value. So that's the point. The value is in the strategies you bring to the table and what you say, not all in your social proof. Okay. It just requires, you to like have a better strategy. That's it. So which means higher close rates, and they don't question you on your prices as much. Now you do have to give them a price that makes sense, which I explain exactly how to do. I'm more than happy to do that later in this presentation. But yeah, next is less anxiety. So like I sleep like a baby every night. And, I know my friends that are doing long form copy, they're constantly stressed. Like, yes, they'll have a 12K month once because they like wrote a funnel and some landing page copy, but then their clients leave. They never run the copy. They never film the VSL or whatever. And so they never get any stats and they never get any social proof. And they're stuck on this vicious, nasty treadmill of wondering like, wow, am I ever going to be a copywriter that's like crushing it? Am I ever going to be this coveted A-lister? What does it take to be an A-lister? So like I sleep like a freaking baby every night, and I have so many clients coming in, and I give a lot of them to my students as well. Anything that's less than 5K a month, I give to my students right away, like clockwork. And so, yeah, it just feels really good. I felt safer now than I ever did working at Costco, because Costco is one income, and I was constantly, they would like threaten to fire you over silly shit. They would threaten to fire everybody, even my manager. And, but with this, it's like I have so many clients that it's like, okay, if one leaves, it doesn't matter. Just like next, fill it, boom, there we go. So it comes more on like, what type of income level do you want? What type of lifestyle do you want to build for yourself, and work backwards from there? So like I prefer to have like 5 to 10 clients for anywhere from, 5, 6 or 7K a month, but I have charged up to $23,000 a month. I'll get into that in a little bit. And, on average, I've had a good amount of clients for, 10 to 15 as well. But then I prefer to have a couple proteges riding with me, and so I can help bring them up. And also I can have a little bit more ability to bring on more clients as well, and have like a little micro agency going on and make 60K a month plus. So then clients stay for 12 plus months, because they're like, hey, this guy is the only person talking about tracking results, like for example, North Star KPIs, which stands for key performance indicators, which I'll explain later on the call or this session. And then, yeah, you can charge 5 to 6K a month consistently and end the feast or famine freelancer cycle forever. Hands down the safest form of freelancing ever. All right, so here's some client results. Like basically, this was a client that was sending emails and they were making $13,000 a month. Fast forward, let me actually. Yeah, so they went from $13,000 a month, and then I generated them $313K the first 60 days with them. And it's by the systems, strategies, and principles that I apply to my clients and I teach my students, so that we absolutely knock it out of the freaking park. And so clients stay on forever. And the crazy thing was, when I saw this client get this crazy result, he was shopping online like crazy on his stories, showing everybody like, hey, like I'm shopping for real estate, and like, because he was just dripping money like everywhere, like just absolutely soaked in money. And so it was really, really fun and satisfying to watch him do that. And also I won the Alex Hermosi competition, affiliate competition, for $100 million leads by 30%, absolutely slaughtering everybody else in the entire world for that competition. And it's due to my specific email strategies that I implement for my clients. And I'll show you this one as well if you guys want to ask on this presentation. I'm more than happy to give you guys the family farm on this presentation. Just got to explain a few of this stuff first for the people that don't know me. Okay, Alex Hermosi said it there. That's my client. Slotted the second place person. See, 30% more. All right. Also, I applied my 17-step email profit formula to one of my clients, a 9-figure client doing $120 million a year. And it generated them a 2.53x increase. That's 253% increase, for their email revenue, which is absolutely crazy. They literally, right here, you can see in small letters, it says, "This man is incredible at what he does. Amazing work, Christian. I was convinced email was dead, but we just didn't have you on the team." So just ignore these dumb marketers that are saying, "Oh, copywriting's dead, email's dead." It's like, dude, listen to the people actually doing it. Like, it's crazy how many crushed dreams I'm hearing about in my DMs from people that are like, "Oh, it's hard to get clients," or it's like copywriting's like getting hurt by AI. It's like, no, like everything is equally being, messed with a bit by AI, but it's not like messed with. Copywriting is like one of the only spaces where it's actually made it better. It's actually made it way better and easier, and it's only going to get better and easier as time goes by. which is crazy. So it's a very beautiful thing. I also turned their worst month ever into their best month ever, which was bonkers. Alex Hermosi replied to one of my emails here saying, you're all the best. Layla replied to one of my emails here saying, who writes the emails for blank? Guy named Christian. He's an ex-student turned copywriter. Why do you ask? He's really good. I always find myself reading them 100% of the way through. All right, now here's an email deliverability hack that I also use on my own clients. And it took this client from a 14% open rate, literally everything else exactly the same the next day, to a 42% open rate. And like when you can consistently just plug and play one of my template strategies and systems to get a consistent result like this for clients, they listen up. And then let's say you get your first client, you apply this system, you get your first piece of social proof, then you're really off to the races, because it requires a little bit less convincing to get somebody on the phone after that. So like if you want to make sure that you have the best shot at making your first client work with copywriting, you need to have templates, strategies, and systems. Okay. This is also how I was able to collect $1 million from my client in 12 hours. And then it was actually 1.2 over a 24-hour period. Made a little extra, but the total promo amount was $2.9 million. And this was for a Hermosi company here, which is absolutely gangbusters. Okay. There's the proof there. An extra 0.5 came in after the screenshot was taken, thanks to the Ascension model. But yeah, Alex Hermosi made this YouTube video about me. You can literally go look it up. Just a heads up, they did change the title and thumbnail to try to like mask this video, but this is it. Just look for this thumbnail and look for the video. It's like email marketing is boring or something like that. Ridiculous. Like, nice try, Diddy. Nice try, Diddy. Tell the people email marketing is boring. It's like, okay, the rest of us will get rich then. That's actually fine with me. Like, let the peasants think that copywriting is boring or email marketing, the best form of copywriting. While we take all the bags and get all the best clients. Like, that's fine with me. Just joking. So the big lie that's keeping you broke. So once I get the clients, I'll figure the rest out later. Okay, this sounds innocent, but it's a lie that destroys 90% of freelancers. Because you need to have a template, strategy, and system to apply to the client. And that's why a lot of people screw up. That's why a lot of people struggle and never get their first client, or like, because they're subconsciously terrified of getting the client because they don't have the templates, strategies, and systems for making it work. Okay, next, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation. That's why, clients can ghost after 2 weeks after, because you didn't have a strategy past the close. You can have everything else in place. You can have invincible Chad-like confidence, but if you don't have a strategy past the close, you won't close them. But here's the beautiful thing, or you won't keep them is what I meant. But the beautiful thing is you can actually improve your close rate by bringing these templates, strategies, and systems to the front end of your funnel, which means in your outreach, in your posts, like all you do is you take what I'm doing and apply it to your own business, and you can close clients that way. And in fact, they often talk themselves into it and close themselves. All right. Which is absolutely gnarly. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, I've been through a lot of pain on my journey. I've sent a lot of people into spam. I've pulled a lot of people out of spam. I've made a lot of mistakes, and that's why I've created templates and strategies and systems to avoid all of that. So I don't have to have a tough conversation with the client and just be like, oh, I did this and this happened, But the good news is, and what I learned after creating all these templates and strategies and systems, even if you do make a mistake, because you will, it's just part of learning a new skill, there's almost always a way to reverse it, but like, ask me first. Like, here's a quick story time for you guys. This is super valuable. So pay close attention. There's a really good moral of the story here. Okay. So I was working at an agency in the past, like years ago, an email agency. And someone on the team called the owner of the agency and said, Hey, I screwed up. I added the entire email list to the unsubscribe list. Is this a fireable offense? And then we all look at each other in the office, like me, the COO, and the CEO, and I like laugh because I'm like, oh shit, she just burned herself. But then I had a call with her privately. I called her and I said, hey, look, this is actually 100% reversible and nobody would have ever known you did this, but only if you knew what to do, So I learned through trials and hardship and pain, but I'm able to pass along everything I've learned to people, and the moral of the story is doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. It's almost always reversible as long as you know how to do it. So just lean upon someone that knows how to do it, and then you'll keep clients. Like that's basically what you're getting. It's a surefire system to keep and close clients. That's what you need. So yeah, key phrase, you don't get paid to write, you get paid to solve. But if you already have a system and strategy for everything, you're good. So what clients actually want in 2025? They want results, not just words. Let's be real. Like pretty words don't just make money. Well, pretty words that don't make money, they just equal dead weight. So if your message doesn't get delivered to the prospect, it just ends in spam, or it doesn't even matter because they didn't even see it. Proof. You need, eventually, it becomes easier if you have some sort of form of social proof so that you can actually, demonstrate that you know what you're doing. But until then, having a game plan is solid enough. Like all you need is just to sound certain, have a game plan, because clients don't want guesswork. And same with prospects, when you're closing people, they want an exact roadmap on how you're going to fix this for them. So literally that's what people are doing. Like Renata, who I'm going to have speak next, she's having conversations with super high level business owners that a lot of copy gurus would say, hey, that's out of your league. But she's coming back to me saying like, hey, here's their entire system. What should I do? And I'm turning around, responding to her personally through our messaging channel. And then I'm saying, hey, tell them this is the strategy for this. And like, this is what you should say on your call, boom, boom, boom. And then she's actually doing really good and closing clients like crazy. So like literally picture it like this. Like this is a funny example. And I write for some clients in dating. So that people that understand like men's dating will think this is funny. Like the student is the one going out and talking to potential partners out at like a nightclub, and I have like an earpiece pretty much. Like I'm just telling them what to do, act, and say so that they can accomplish the goal. Like you could call me like the full stack marketer, full stack marketer guru, or date hustler guru, whatever. So yeah, you can also send samples to the client, but if you don't have an exact strategy on what you're going to do for them, then you're just going to fall flat. And I always reframe this with clients, like when I actually get them on a call or I'm talking to them in a screen share. I say, hey, look, A+ copy is easy to write in any niche. So let's just reframe that now. Like what's more challenging, and I'm telling the client this, but in the back of my head, I know this is not 100% true. I just say like, it's more challenging to find somebody, or it's more challenging to set up the emails and send them so that you can actually get delivered in the right place, which is true. But also they don't have to know that if you just have a simple strategy and a system, it's insanely easy, but the truth is no one knows how to do it. So, all right. So here's the meat of everything right now. So here's the truth about finding great clients. Okay. Most freelancers look for clients like they're buying a lottery ticket. So here's how to get very intentional with how you approach this. And also a mindset that I have for getting clients that's like carried me throughout my entire career. All right. So go to the Facebook ads library and type in, you're going to want to write this down because I don't even know if this is being recorded right now. I'll find out later. and type in community, school, course, program, like all the buzzwords for the potential type of client you want. I prefer high ticket coaches because with info, they have lots of, they have big margins, meaning they keep most of their money so that they can afford to pay me more. So like if an e-com brand's making 100K a month, sometimes their profit's only like 20% or 30% or 40 at best, which means I can only charge them about a fifth of that, like whatever their monthly revenue is, like 5 to 10%. That's like the magic ratio. So I prefer an info business making 100K a month, because then if I charge them, like 20%, that's just like 5K a month, and boom, there we go. That's simple. And they're probably keeping 80% of it. Okay. You can also find clients in kick-ass Facebook groups like Nothing Held Back. This is where I got my giant 12-figure client by a post I put in there, and then he hunted me down and he closed me. But also I had this like insanely dialed in strategy and system on the call with him. So at the end of the call, he said, "Christian, hands down, you're the most prepared copywriter we've ever interviewed. So I got you," which was crazy. And the crazy part is I didn't even know this was the giant guru, or I didn't even know that the company was the giant, 12-figure Fiji Island guru, self-development guru. I thought it was for a different brand. And then so he told me live on the call, "No, this is for this brand." And I was like, I got tunnel vision. My ears rang a little bit. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I got the strategy for you right here, man." Then he was like, "Dang, hands down, you're the most prepared copywriter on the call. You got the job." It's like, boom, game over. That was like more than half a year ago. So Renata just takes that exact strategy and applies it to her clients. This is like dead simple. Okay. And all the potential client calls that you go on. Okay. You can find clients in school, think like coach that coach coaches. That's actually a funny niche, but they are some of the richest clients that you can approach, or sales coaches. So you can start there as well, as long as they're ethical, of course, because sometimes they can be a little funny. Kajabi heroes, type in Kajabi heroes. I'm gonna give you guys some straight freaking fire right now. Type in Kajabi heroes into Google and pitch all those people. You're welcome. Also look up coaches that coach coaches and then pitch all the coaches in their program. Yeah, I'll say that again. Find the coaches that coach coaches and then pitch the coaches in their program. That's the heat right there. So you just do some Googling. I don't want to tell people an exact group or strategy right now, because then they're going to get absolutely blown up once this, because this message is already getting out to the public right now. All right. So, and then even ClickFunnels 2.0 user groups, there's lots of gurus in there as well, high level ones. Okay, next. So Instagram, I prefer people once I do these steps here, find people running ads that are spending lots of money on ads, and you can tell they're spending lots of money on ads because they have thousands and thousands of likes or thousands of comments on the videos. And so, hey, this has been running for a long time. And you check the history of the comments, you're like, oh shit, this has been going on for 3 months or more. That's a control. That's a control ad right there, which means they're making a ton of money, which means you need to pitch them for email marketing. Okay. And then once you start liking and following more of these people on Facebook and especially Instagram, your algorithm gets trained to deliver you more ads of your perfect ideal client. All right. So they're coming to you, baby. All right. I'm all about simplicity. Or when you post into a group like Nothing Held Back and you use my strategies for posting in Facebook groups, you're going to get really high level business owners liking and commenting on your post. Then you add them all as friends. And then now under your suggested friends on Facebook, you're only suggested, for the most part, if you trained it correctly, high level business owners. And then you either can just hit add suggested friend over and over and over, or you pay someone, $4 to $5 an hour to do it for you. I think 4 is kind of low after inflation, so you might want to do 5 or 6. Just a heads up. Okay. So yeah, this is really simple. This is how you combine, hunting and, farming together. I call this probably more like fishing. It's like a hybrid. Like you're going to them, but they're also coming to you. All right. And then whenever I see an ad on Instagram, I'll pitch them right away. And so like, I don't view client getting as like hard. Like I don't sit down. I'm like, okay, time to go like door knock and get rejected a bunch. And this is going to feel hard. It's like, nah, it's like, I like going on Instagram. Who doesn't? I like to watch reels and funny entrepreneur stuff like Baller Busters or CoffeeZilla or whatever. But when I'm there and I'm getting ads for coaches, I'm pitching them and I'm using my exact framework, and the same with the students. And that's how we're getting them on calls and closing them. You know, so this is a very, very simple process. And it's actually fun because like I'm already on Instagram, I'm already having fun. So now I'm just going to pitch them. And if it works, great. If not, I just made a new friend and they'll probably refer me out to someone else. And I'll probably see them at an event in the future. And I'll be like, hey, we talked before. And then now I'm closer in on their circle. Okay. So this is like a giant snowball you got to build up and you got to do no matter what. I don't care who you are. You got to do this. And you know why? It's actually fun. That's why you got to do it. And you'll make a ton of money, but only if you know what you're doing. Okay. So that'll get you started for now. You can also audit your inbox and see how these emails are. If they're sending daily emails already, it's going to be a harder gig for you to try to pitch them and you know, get them to replace their current copywriter or stop writing the emails themselves. That's just more of an uphill battle. Like I like shooting my shot at people I know have money that aren't maybe sending emails as much. So I'll opt into their list. And if they only have a few welcome emails, then I'll just be like, hey, I have the 17-step email profit formula that increased my 9-figure clients' revenue by 253%. You know, but even before I had that social proof, I was saying, hey, I literally said this. You can go ahead and steal this. I said, hey, I can make you 30% more at least than any other copywriter, email marketer out there. I can show you live on a screen share. That's gold right there. That's gold because it's short, sweet. You're not delivering a link that they're not going to click because they're assuming that's probably like a Trojan horse virus or some shit. You know, I'm serious. This is how my high-level business owner friends think. You know, at this point, I'm friends with more high-level business owners than copywriters, especially like in person in my city. So yeah, this is what they're telling me. And also I get pitched a lot too, so I feel the same way. So yeah, anybody spending time or money on launches or ads is obviously a good entry point. And if they're not sending a lot of emails, then you can use the 17-step email profit formula. And here's some more heat for you guys. I use the 17-step email profit formula, which I'll share right now. Oh wait, I just doxed myself. Nobody look. It's not 27, yo, it's 17. 17. Dude, Gary Vee loves the number 17 for some reason. He's shit for 17 years. Okay. 17-step email profit formula game plan for coaches. Go ahead and screenshot this. This is my exact one of the pieces that I show them on a sales call, but this is like the full checklist. So in general, you can get away with saying that just by implementing one of these really good ones, you can make them an extra 30% on average. So that's how I justify this. And that's how I can say this because I've also seen that work. So you can go ahead and steal that line from me. And then we'll go over more of this in a little bit. I want to explain how to actually close them after I explain how to actually approach getting clients. So let me get some water. Okay. Here are the two main ways to get clients once you have a little bit of social proof, or even if you don't have social proof and you just have a simple, clear strategy. So 1, farming, and 2, hunting. Farming means posting and bringing clients to you, and hunting means actively going out there and doing DMs, cold emails, all that. So my strategies are one or the other or a hybrid of both. And so let me explain. Don't do cold emails unless you have a big presence online. Social media DMs are way better because it's way warmer. I'm all about lowest hanging fruit and like approaching this from the warmest angle, and I hate wasting time. There's no way I got to where I am now by like wasting time, because I could do something fun with my life. And also, the more money you make and the more connections you make, like for example, outreaches on Instagram you do, the more awesome, dope, fun activities you get invited to. So like, why are people viewing this as like a bad or hard thing? It's like, oh my God, I get invited out onto yacht parties. Like I literally have clients calling me saying, hey, it's just me and my business partner. We're on a yacht with 17 girls. You in? Just like, yes, of course. I'm going to go send some ninja flips off the front of the yacht and film content and stuff. It'd be a blast. And then I give them some email marketing advice, like on the boat and in exchange. Or I'll get invited to travel. I'll get invited to trips. I just got invited to Miami out last weekend for this guy that has 1 million followers on Instagram, you know, because people see the value. Like when you build your value up and people know that you're a full stack email marketer, like every big business needs email. So now they don't just view you as a fun person to hang out with. They view you as, you know, a potential person that could make them a lot of money. So everyone wants to hang out with you. And it's really fun. It's transformed my entire life. You know, like now I have a bunch of friends out in the city that all live in skyrise apartments like mine. And a lot of them are doing way better than me. Some of them are in their mid-30s and they're already retired, for example. And it's just so inspiring. Like email marketing has completely transformed my life. Like, you know, I literally, I was in Mexico right before I decided to do email marketing. And I was watching a video sales letter, you know, presentation that was actually like really similar to this one, but it was with a coach that didn't really know that much or know what he was doing. And I remember seeing that and just going, yes, like every cell in my body knows that this is the right decision. Like I found my treasure, you know, just like from the book, The Alchemist. I found my treasure. This is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. I freaking love this so much. And then once I just, you know, did it every day, like the simple, clear action steps I outline in my systems, my entire life freaking transformed. And now I'm here today, extremely humbled to be giving you this presentation. It feels so crazy. It almost makes me gives me like a little tear of joy. It's crazy. So hunting and farming, basically, you know, just do hunting as strategic as possible. Like, you know, friends of friends are better. So like if you already have a bunch of mutual friends on Facebook with this potential business owner, start reaching out to them first, because you already have social proof in that regard. You know, a lot of people think social proof is only just like wins that you made for clients. So like, oh, I haven't made a client millions, so I can't charge 5K or I can't get clients. It's like bullshit. Okay. You just have to get closer to these people for them to trust you with larger amounts of money if you have less social proof. And also just have a good game plan, or just have a good game plan. Honestly, you can just have a good game plan and you're good, but it just requires a little bit more reps. Okay. So farming is more posting and stuff. And I have strategies for this as well. I explained one of them, like posting and nothing held back and then re-adding them. That's perfect. That's bringing a lot of people to you. Okay. Now, what do you say? You're going to want to screenshot this. This is my framework for what you should say when you're reaching out to clients. And, you know, this applies to anything. Okay. This applies to, mostly social media. Cold email is different because you only have one shot, but like I'll do a series of small messages broken up, like, because it makes it look like I don't care. And when you're detached and don't care about the outcome, you get better results. That's also another key tip for you guys. So when you're pitching clients, don't care too much. But yeah, no matter what, when you close your first few 5K clients, you'll be jumping up and down and screaming like a little girl, because you're like, holy shit, this is the most amount of money I've ever seen. And I can't wait to experience that moment with you. So please like message me when that happens, because it gets me giddy just thinking about. And yeah, I just closed another 5K one a few days ago. So I'm still riding that high. So yeah, basically tease a hidden issue. People throw money at hidden issues, and I would discourage you from saying this exact series of phrases, but these are just examples, because if every single person who watches this does it, it'll eventually not work. So use this to your discretion. If you do copy me, then you better do it soon. Okay, so quick heads up. This has to match your brand voice too. I noticed your open rates are tanking based off your engagement, your segmenting structure. I said probably tanking, because there's no way for you to actually know. But you could do this for a spam client, for example, or you could say, hey, you're missing X piece of the 17-step email profit formula. I'll go back there briefly so you can look at it. Any of these steps are a potential problem and issue that your client has for you to close them, and like people don't throw money at things they don't view as a problem first, and they don't make it a priority to change that until they do. Okay. I don't hear anybody talking about these exact, formulas and strategies for getting clients. So pay close attention. You're not going to see this a lot of other places. Drop a proof bomb if you have it. Okay. This is a pretty intense one here, but if you don't have that, that's okay. Just say, skip to the dangle the carrot. If you want, I can show you how exactly to fix it on a 15-minute screen share. I say screen share because it's more approachable than a call. A screen share is not like, hey, bro, I'm going to get on a sales call with you. It's like, hey, man, I literally have some assets to show you on a screen share. I prefer doing a screen share over a Loom because they're not going to view the Loom. And also, I'm actually building a connection with them, and I have the potential to close them when I get them on a call. All right. Now, if you don't have the social proof, just say, hey, I have this 17-step email profit formula from my mentor, or you can just say, it's yours. Honestly, you're here. My students, they just use my social proof. Like they just say, hey, my mentor and I are using this strategy and it got this result. That's the perfect way to word it. That's still ethical. That is 100% true. Because I use the strategy for it to work. And then now we're working together with that person so they can use my social proof out there in the wild. And that's also why they're closing clients like crazy right now. Okay. If you want, I'll show you exactly how to fix it on a 15-minute screen share. And then I'm going to show you guys exactly how to close them on a call too in a second. All right. And then 4, you have a clear call to action. Not a sales call. Well, I wouldn't say, that's funny. I wouldn't necessarily say not a sales call because it is. You want to be authentic. And also, when you say something's not something, they immediately think it's that. So that's why I was joking with you guys earlier, being like, this is not a green screen. Okay, fine. It's a green screen. I just rented it. Okay, the truth came out. It's all rented. This apartment's rented. I actually, on a serious note, I did have 2 clients offer to buy me a bust down rollie if I met a certain North Star KPI. And for people that don't know what that means, it's what rappers call like an iced out Rolex, like meaning diamonds are covering every square millimeter. And then one of them said, I want you to have 6 bust down rollies. And at that point, it's called a bust down rollie avalanche for people that don't know. So yeah, email marketing can literally lead to a bust down rollie avalanche. Just watch. Anyway, God, I definitely can't wear those on first dates with girls. They're just going to get the wrong idea. So yeah, I just want to show you what's possible. Or you can even leave that out, because this is pretty much a clear CTA right here. Cool. Now, let me show you exactly what I showed them on the call. Cool. Okay, so you're going to have this open first, the 17-step email profit formula. This is the exact offer stack I offer my clients, and literally everything is exactly in its perfect place for a reason. All right, so don't question the process. And if you want to know why something is the way it is, more than happy to answer that question, but you should still do it. Okay, so 30 broadcast emails. This is because you want to email every day. It doesn't mean that you're selling every day. All right, then you want 10 workflow emails. If you update too many workflow emails at once, this means the automated emails that go out. If you update too many at once, the client can get a funny idea to replace you. Not all the time, but sometimes. I've seen it happen in the past, especially with e-com brands. That's why I'm recommending you guys go for high ticket coaches or info. Cool. 1 30-minute coaching call a week, and then weekly email reports. All right. Here, check out these email reports. Cool. So this is a quantitative report, meaning lots of numbers. All right. But it's just screenshots from the client's dashboard. Now, I don't give you guys advice on stuff that I'm not actually doing in my business. So like I fill out these reports myself for Tony Robbins, for example. And yeah, it's like really clear and simple. But basically, I don't want to do data entry and like fill out a bunch of stuff, myself. So I'm just going to screenshot it. Okay. And then I'm going to screenshot some Postmaster stats. Like this is super easy to find and grab. Like I can show you easily how to do it. Oh man, that IP is getting so good. And then some sales numbers. And I talk about how to get this as well from your clients. All right, now this is the love language here. Pay close attention to this. North Star KPI. So like this is what makes the clients actually want to close. And because they're, just like they don't hear this from a lot of copywriters. Copywriters don't talk about North Star KPIs. They're too busy saying like, yeah, words, bro. These convert, I swear. Like, oh, why? Like, oh yeah, I don't know exactly. All you have to do is know and you're good, which means you have the templates and strategies and systems. Okay. So a good North Star KPI to start with is email revenue over gross revenue. A lot of people reside at like 10 to 15%, but if you're doing 30% or even higher 40, you're cooking and you're really good, which means you've optimized the 17-step email profit formula. Okay. You can also do calls booked per week or applications filled out per week if you have a book a call funnel for a high ticket coaching client. Okay. So that's super, super important. Now here's a qualitative report, which is like the general, analysis of the entire brand. Not the entire brand, but like all the emails that you send out for the specific client. Like, how do you explain this in words, not just numbers? So like, why did we get a low open rate that day? Why did we get a high open rate? Why did we click? And this is how I got really good really fast, was because I just understood why. I didn't see numbers. I saw reasons why. And that's how I started going deeper with creating all these strategies and systems and stuff. Because this also protected me, and it also protects my students right now. Because if I see something going wrong, like, oh, we just had our lowest week ever, and instead of having a shitty client call where the client shows up and it's like, what's going on? You suck. I have a great client call because I'm like, hey, here's the exact roadmap and strategy to improve this. And this was the goal of last week, and this is why we didn't hit it. Business owners just want to know that you're certain and know what's going on. And if you have a good mentor and you have template strategies and systems, you are fine. That's why I keep the clients. Like we could have a really shitty 2 months and I still keep the clients, because I have a plan and strategy. You have to. Cool. So now we're still going over what you're showing them on a sales call. Okay. So here's a mind map that I made. So like this is pretty aggressive, actually. I don't want you guys to think that you have to do something this robust. Let me find a simpler one for you guys, like a ones that I would use on a normal client. Okay. This is so fun. Screw you, Alex Hormozy. Email's not boring. It's the sexiest form of writing out there. It's like books. I've written books. That's boring. Like emails are like the TikTok of writing, and it's way cooler than being a salesman because you get to write instead of talk. Like that's a mad flex. Plus, when I tell people or the ladies that I'm a writer for a living, they're just like, what? Oh, you're so creative. Like that's so awesome. Anyway, so this is the funnel right here. It literally takes me like 10 to 20 minutes to make this. For this one, less. It's so small, but make this for your client in about 10 to 20 minutes before your call and you'll be fine. It's just a brief overview of the funnel. So you have an ad, leads to a landing page. Then you have some welcome SMSs. Then you have the application page that goes to book a call. Either the prospect fills out the application or they don't fill it out. Then you follow up with the call. Either they buy or didn't buy. Then this is the action that you take next. So all these are workflows you're going to be writing for them next. You know what I mean? So when they see this, they're not even going to know what a lot of this stuff means, which should give you guys lots of confidence, because all you do is you have to sound certain and you're good, because they're not going to know what this stuff means, so it gives you more wiggle room to not be 100% right. You just have to be certain, and also transparent, obviously, with the client. Just be like, yes, I have this super dialed in system. I'm good to go. And you can omit maybe if you don't have a lot of experience until they ask. But I honestly, with my first few clients, my first few gigs, I was 100 with them. I said, hey, look, I don't have this exact experience in this, but I have this exact strategy and plan to improve it that I know top dogs in the space are using. And so I got you. This will 100% work. And I just had certainty, and that's how I did it. But it wasn't always that way. I was the most like insecure, scared, afraid, like lost copywriter ever. Like I didn't think like I could do it. I thought that this was scary and hard for some reason. And then I got down to it and I realized that this is actually way simpler than I ever thought, especially once I had the strategies and systems. Now it's like freaking easy mode for my clients, or my students. That's why they're getting clients like crazy. Okay, so yeah, I show them these three assets because this one shows that I understand some tech stuff, which means I know how to set these up. And I have like video tutorials on how to do these. I'm making them every week as well. So it's like just copy paste, really simple. And then this talks about, the strategy and like the stats more, these two reports. And then this is also strategy. And then from here, I'll just like bring some sample copy on the call. And then that checks all the boxes that I covered at the beginning of this presentation. So like tech, strategy, and copy. Boom. This is freaking fire. So business owners, like once you cover everything in their head, they start to feel safer and safer with you. And then you get a perceived value that's so much higher. And also it's a real value too, because you're actually going to make them more. All right. So yeah, I just explained this. Basically, this is my screen share pitch to close a 12-figure client. And that's the exact strategy. So you're welcome. Make sure to rewatch this if I have a recording. So here's how I actually break down my ROI, like my, their return on investment live on the call. This is what justifies my rate. Okay. So you're more than welcome to steal this. All right. So math sells. And this is also cool and reassuring because people think, oh, this is a sales call with a prospect. This is scary. It's like, yeah, I was terrified of sales too. But then I realized this is not sales at all. All right. This is, in fact, with business owners, if you try to be salesy or try to be like, oh yeah, well, if you don't take action now, you're going to stay broke forever, or some BS that's like people are saying on sales calls. First of all, nobody likes that. But second of all, definitely doesn't work on business owners. Because business owners, they just want the facts. They don't want the gun being pointed on them, like the copy gun or the sales gun, the marketing gun, because they know what's going on. All right. You just need to state the facts. So the facts in this case are, let's say you have, a 20,000 person subscriber list, and let's say, for example, these are 20,000 people they can't email. Okay. So you have people that are still subscribed that you're emailing on a consistent basis. And then you have the rest of the list, the rest of the email list, which are still subscribed, but you can't email them or else you'll hit spam. So like I have a secret re-engagement strategy that my students and I are using to re-engage clients at an insane rate as well. So like 18%, you can calculate 18% of these leads that are, old, that you can't normally email. And then if we times that by your conversion rate and the product offer, that's the extra money that you're going to be making. Okay. Which is crazy. And it justifies the 5K price, like hands down, if you get a client with a decent email list. All right. Yeah. This is just straight up gold right now. All right. And even if we do half of that, that's more than going to pay for my 5K retainer, and it's just going to get better and better every month. So, then you're just clear with them. Like, hey, we can't just keep leaving money on the table like this. We need to actually fix this month, get to the bottom of it, get optimized, because these leads are getting older and older by the month. And you're not going to be able to, I mean, your ad costs are going up too, because you're not able to take this profit back and put it into ads. So like they're getting doubly hurt. Their business is going down. So this is my system for keeping clients 12 plus months. Okay. So client retention equals profit. Churn equals hell, especially if you're trying to run an agency. All right. I keep majority of my clients, which is fantastic. All right. So yeah, basically I will go back to the weekly reports here, and like, this is how I keep them. I always dangle carrots, like the same exact way I won the Alex Hormozi case study for $100 million leads. I was just dangling carrots, because the way to win the competition was getting people on the actual call, not just getting them to register. That's how I won. So that's what I do now, is I dangle carrots with clients. I'm like, hey, I have this strategy and plan to improve it. Where we are now at all times, even like 2 years after having a client, here's what we should do. And then I implement it, 10 workflow emails a month. And then it always keeps them on board. It always keeps them looking forward to something new. The main reason why people lose clients is because they feel like that they're not being optimized anymore, or their copywriter got complacent, or someone comes around and has a better offer. I'm telling you, at the core of this, you're making your offer as a copywriter bulletproof. This is a bulletproof strategy. Okay. No one's going to come around and have a better strategy than you. And they know that. That's why you can make mistakes and they'll still stay on board, because they're like, oh shit, I'm never going to find someone like you, or me ever again, because you're hands down the most prepared. So even if things aren't going your way, or if you're taking an L, at least we know what's going on and how to fix it, and go from there due to the template strategies and systems. Okay. So track North Star KPIs and have your weekly reports ready. And that's how you end the feast or famine cycle as a copywriter. Okay. Which just comes down to actually knowing how to improve everything, which comes by tracking. So it's actually very, very simple at its core and very easy to implement. So yeah, that's the gist of that. All this, I just like to reiterate, all this was built from a lot of pain of me losing clients, losing 6K retainers or more because I couldn't track a ROI, sending emails to spam, but it's awesome, because every single mistake that I've learned along the way is now a lesson in my program. And also I listen to the business owners on what they want to see and hear from me. And I just apply that to my new template strategy and system formula, and so now every time I get a client, my churn goes down even more. I keep clients longer, like they're even happier, because I've already been through the pitfalls and the lessons, so I don't have to go through them anymore. And the best gift I can give you is hand you down the lessons I've learned in a beautiful package. All right, so this includes like audits, and stuff like that. Like just basically giving a little breakdown of the client, like what's going on. And yeah, just the simple version of that is knowing what's going on and telling them. So here's why full stack email marketer works when everything else doesn't out there. And full stack email marketer is my coaching program. It's my pride and joy. It's my mission in life. And I'm always going to actually have my email marketing agency, obviously, because I'm always going to do the actual thing, because I love it at its core. It's crazy to me that some people try to get out of doing like the thing that got them to where they are. And now they're just going to coach people. But hey, no shade to other people. But yeah, other programs will give you one coaching call a week, no tech report or no tech support, no revenue systems, no templates or strategies, and some no even swipes. But what I give you is 3 weekly live coaching calls that cover all the topics you need: copy, tech, and strategy. And then of course, client getting is baked into all these calls. Because making your offer better helps you get clients as well. So 3 specialized coaches, including me, who are already coaching for 9-figure clients, and me and my team who use Troy's Erickson's agency and program, or we used to run Troy Erickson's agency and program. So I was the head coach in Troy Erickson's program, and I also was the #1 email marketer in his agency. And so then I took the rest of the people that worked for him, and now we're all running this together. So this is the biggest email marketing program in the space right now that actually covers the tech and strategy. Nothing else out there even gets close, because he shut down his program. So yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. And me and the 2 other coaches, Stefan and Ian, we're triple teaming every student until they win. That's why students are getting insanely quick results, which helps them afford the offer and stuff. So the offer is 10 live calls per month, but it's actually 12 while I'm filming a lot of these videos, because I said 3 calls a week, which includes, copy, feedback, weekly tech and strategy calls, and then 2 monthly advanced strategy calls. But I'm going to bump that up to 4, like while I'm still filming a lot of the modules live. And then, so this is also 12. What you'll get inside the program is 12 calls per month. And then lifetime access to video lessons. This is actually way more than 25 hours plus. This is like closer to 40 hours plus now, and a lot more coming constantly. Exclusive community group for support and accountability, and 7-figure email swipes that I'm actually using and writing myself, or my team is, for giant clients. And some of these emails have generated up to $80,000 a month. There are 0 email swipes in here that I'm sending to my own list, because that's sus as hell. Because of course it's going to work. It's my list, and everybody likes me and what I have to say. Same goes for any guru, right? There's a reason why they're on the email list, because they already like the YouTube content. So it doesn't matter what you say as much. So plug and play templates, strategies, and systems, including the weekly reports, and finally, my proven 17-step email profit formula with exact A to Z guides on how to set it up. And that is being completed right now live. So here are the swipes that you get access to, and some of the results some of them get. So I actually rounded down when I told you. This one here made 85K. And then I also turned their worst month ever into their best month ever, which was insane, thanks to like my exact promo strategies and email swipes. And they're working like gangbusters. This client was so stoked, 254K. Oh man, for a promo. This is an invoice I sent a client, $23,000 a month. That was badass. Yeah, they've paid anywhere from like 5, 10, 15, then like had a lot of 20K months as well, which is really fun. So yeah, people saying copywriting's dead or AI, it's like blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, my clients don't care that I'm using AI. They're paying me tens of thousands of dollars a month. Like, dude, and these are all other clients paying me. So yeah. So also what's included is my Black Friday strategy promo that broke 2 sales record days back to back. And also this is the one that turned their worst month ever into their best month ever, which was absolutely insane. So here's how Full Stack Email Marketer helps you close 5 to 6K clients. So you get, every area of your entire business and strategy covered. So you get weekly copywriting feedback calls, weekly tech and strategy calls, and then monthly advanced strategy calls. Well, I should say weekly. So that's once a week, not twice a month. So if this all sounds good to you, I'm going to drop the application link below so you can apply to Full Stack Email Marketer and transform your life today. And then I have more slides for you guys. 1 second. Yeah, apply now. I can only accept so many people any given week because it's a very intimate experience. You get added to a channel that you can message me privately, which is really fun and crazy because I get to see how everybody's doing personally. A lot of gurus will, offload this to other people, but not me. Like, I'm actually stronger with my other coaches helping me, and we're all triple teaming everybody, making you successful, which is badass. So let me share my screen again, and then we'll get into questions. Okay, so here are some recent students that got clients in 1 to 3 weeks, or just other case studies as well. So this client or this student got a client in 8 days of joining Full Stack Email Marketer. This one closed the client for $500 a month, which is a really big deal for them because it was their first big client. And then this other guy got a service agreement with ClickFunnels, and they want to test it for $2,000, which is amazing, right after joining. This other student closed the client, and they're going to make their first payment by tomorrow if they officially close their first client. And then as well as this person that made their client $14K, which is really amazing. Oh yeah, then this other person closed a deal with another client. And then this other student got 35 calls booked after a webinar using the flows and the templates and strategies and systems I gave him. And then closed another client right here. And then this person also closed a client for $750 an account. This could lead up to $11K a month, which is crazy. And that's a huge life-changing client for them. I'm super excited for them and happy. Okay, this student got a call booked for another client. They're getting tons of calls booked, and they're getting better and better at closing. All right, this person here, they closed another client as well. This person actually met in my building, and they're just knocking it out of the park. And all they've done is watch the modules. They haven't even been to any of the calls, but they're already closing clients. And they haven't even messaged me either, which is crazy. So yeah, this wonderful student here named Renata, she, in her first 2 weeks, she landed 2 clients, and now she's up to 3 awesome clients and 4 or 5 already in the work. And some of these new clients are huge. Like one has an email list of 500,000 subscribers. And what's even crazier is they started with minimal copy experience and no strategy or tech knowledge and no previous clients. They just started learning the tech and strategy through the program, and the results have been incredible. So if you're unsure about joining the program, shoot her a message. She'd love to chat. And actually, Renata is on this call today. I'd like to give her a second to go ahead and chat with everybody if she is here. Hey, there she is. She's in the chat. Does she have the presenter link?
Please accept her request to join in.
Okay. You're already in here, so I have to eject you. Then I'm going to accept her, okay? I'm sending it to you right now, Renata. Boom, invite sent. Check your email. That was Marianne, everybody. She's wonderful. Wow, we still have 50 people here. Holy cow, what's up, everybody? Go ahead and drop again where you're from. Like, I am so interested to hear. We did that at the very beginning, but I want to see, oh shit, balloons. I want to see where you guys are from. Then we'll go over questions and all that. Alan, what's good? So anyway, while Renata joins, I'm going to go ahead and continue. And then I will revisit her in a second. All right, Russell Brunson also joined my personal email list and my Facebook group. So there you go. That's a high-level client just chilling in the Facebook group. That's free, by the way. Here's some basic questions that people ask about being a full stack email marketer. So what if I'm not tech savvy? Like, look, I get it. I was making very little in Mexico, and I had zero tech background when I started. And you can start from scratch, and I can walk you through everything with step-by-step tutorials. So you can just copy what I do on your own screen. So even if you're allergic to tech, you'll be shocked at how fast you can pick this up when it's tied to getting paid 5K plus retainers. Okay. You also get a tech call every week and a dedicated tech coach, Stefan, and then of course me. And then what if I'm not that great at copy yet? So the program is built to take you from a C-level copywriter to an A-plus operator, A-list copywriter. Every single week, you'll get live feedback from our head copy coach who used to coach in Troy Erickson's program. His name's Ian, and also me. We also give you proven templates, systems, and swipes, speed run your results so that you can just plug and play these swipes, templates, and systems into your business. And here are some of the email swipes I have for you guys. Let me show you the sheer freaking crazy ass number of these. All right, this is my test account where I send all of my test emails from all my clients since I started at the very beginning. All right, so, okay, we got 22,000 emails here. So I promise, like, for 99% of emails that you need, I've already written it and I already have it. So if you want it, I can just give it to you. And majority of these are tied to like explicit revenue and stats as well from the clients. So yeah, that speaks for itself. I mean, literally I've written so many emails and my team has also helped with some of these. All right. What if I'm not that great at copy yet? And Marianne, if you could keep dropping the link in the chat, that'd be amazing because I know it's probably getting buried. Just covered that. So yeah, you can use our swipes. So what if I don't get results? So I've been where you are. I've struggled. I've lost clients. I've gotten ghosted too. That's exactly why I built Full Stack Email Marketers. So you don't have to go through that hell. You know, I don't just give you a course. I gave you 3 coaches, including me, real-time help and templates and swipes from 7-figure promos. All right. 50% of our students landed a client within their first 1 to 3 weeks because we're in the trenches with you. All right. Literally, you learn how to keep clients for 12 plus months. You learn how to go out and get clients and how to keep them on retainer and charge high prices, 5 to 6K a month. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This is the best way, hands down, to make $25,000 a month as a freelancer or as a copywriter in general in 2025. Now, can't I just learn this stuff for free on YouTube? Why pay when there's free stuff online? Okay, sure. You can watch a YouTube video for 12 months and still not land a client. In fact, a lot of people in my DMs are doing exactly that. So I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm talking about specific people. You know, people are also like, oh, I'm stuck at 8K a month for 2 years. It's like, it's because you didn't have a template, strategy, or system for everything: getting clients, closing clients, keeping clients. The problem with watching free stuff on YouTube is you don't get these strategies. You don't get feedback. You don't get real world systems. You don't get 9-figure client tested tech and strategy. All right. And also, most people on YouTube, by the way, haven't touched a client in years. So let that sink in. They're not actively running the biggest like gurus accounts in the game like me. You know, and I've only done this in a few short years. Now I'm like the top in the game, which is crazy to think about. So I give you exactly what's working on their email list right now. Like, for example, that self-development guru, the giant one from Fiji, like his list grew by 700K in a couple of weeks. So that's what I'm working with now. Okay, next. I don't have any clients yet. Like, what if I'm Joel and I'm too much of a beginner? Well, perfect. This program is designed for people that have had 0 to 3 clients and want to finally land retainers that pay the bills. You get my exact outreach, pitch, and screen share systems that help students close their first 3K client without job boards, cold calls, or 24/7 content. You know, so like you just get feedback on it too. So like I just gave you the template, strategies, and systems, but good luck making it work unless you have feedback on it. You know, because what you're going to do is you're going to go out there and pitch clients on your own without the program. You're going to feel demoralized, like you're getting ignored all day. And it's because you need someone to look at what you're doing and say, oh, make this small tweak here or make this big tweak here. And then you'll start getting replies and you'll start getting traction. This is why people stay stuck forever. This is why people like me move very fast and are able to accomplish a lot in a short amount of time. Okay. I'm like giving you all the secrets right now. I joined other people's programs and didn't get results. So what if this is another empty promise? Wow. So I get it. I joined a 5K course that only taught copy and it gave me no tech support, or strategy support or execution advice. And so that's why I built Full Stack Email Marketer, to fill all the gaps. We coach you on tech, strategy, and copy, review your pitch calls. We help you fix deliverability. We walk you through every step of the system I've used to generate 54 million plus in client email revenue. All right, I've discussed this a bit, but isn't AI going to replace copywriters anyway? No. AI is going to replace copywriters that are not using AI in a long time from now. But it's a beautiful thing because using AI makes everything easier. You can still charge the same amount. You can finish your work in a fraction of the time, like 10% of the time it used to take. And you can have way more of a lifestyle freedom. Like, how else do you think I'm traveling the world working 5 to 10 hours a week? Staying at 5-star resorts and shit. Like AI, like fine, let all the peasants fight about like why, AI is so hard to get clients. Like, okay, fine, more clients for me and my students. We're closing them like crazy. All right, great. We're going to work way less. We're going to deliver way better results. We're going to travel the world and have a badass life at the same time and not feel glued to our freaking desk. All right. Freaking going windsurfing. Now I'm like living an awesome life. I'm going to Toronto in 3 days and I got a penthouse there with like floor to ceiling windows, like right on the water in downtown Toronto. And I didn't even sweat the price at all. I was just like, who cares? So like, let that be you. Let that be your life. And let this be the moment in time that you choose to not let this BS, FUD, and fear mongering control your life. I think Renat is here. Maybe. Is that you, Marianne?
Hey, Christian, can you hear me?
Oh, what's good? Yes. How you doing? This is yes, you can show your face. I'm amazing. Yeah, this is actually Renata, not Marianne. Marianne's my Robin, it's my Batman. But yeah, so go ahead and share how you feel about the Full Stack Email Marketer so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing. So just to back it up, I've been in the program just over 2 months. So background on me, I've been learning about email marketing. I've been in a couple masterminds or quote unquote masterminds, direct response, copywriting focus. I've done a few different email copywriting courses and I just couldn't get clients. I had a couple small freelance gigs, but it only paid me like a few $100. But I didn't give up. I said, I got to figure out how to make this work. I've invested like $6,000-$7,000. I got to figure this out. So I just kept chipping away at it, reaching out to clients, email, LinkedIn, etc., and just couldn't get people to either respond or to see the value I was presenting or didn't want to pay that much. They said, oh, I'll use AI. So it just came down to me figuring out, okay, well, how do I make this work if I've invested this amount of money? I saw Christian kind of changing his social media. He's like promoting more what he was achieving and who he was working with and stuff like that. And I'm like, he's doing more than just copywriting. So I reached out to him. And I think it's when he first started promoting the Full Stack Email Marketing course, like January, February. And I was like, I need to see what he's got going on. So bottom line, I got on a call with him one-on-one, told him like, hey, I've been doing this for like 2 years. I'm not having any results. And I really just figured like, I'm not going to do it. Whatever he's promoting, it's probably like the rest of them. It's not going to work. But by the end of the call, after about 30, 45 minutes, I realized like, I'm going to hang my hat on this and figure it out. Doing the copy, the tech, the strategy. No one else that I know is even doing that. It definitely sets you apart from like everybody else that's just a copywriter. And ever since then, I just started hitting it really hard, trying to figure out how to get clients as fast as possible, get my money back. And within a week, I had 2 clients. In my first 2 months, I have 3, a total of 3, both in e-commerce as well as high ticket sales and coaching. And I mean, I love working with them because it's a chance for me just to have a small amount of clients. My goal is to have like 5 to 7, all on like a 5,000 to 6,000 a month retainer. and just like building that relationship with them like long term and helping them grow like their email marketing, help them succeed. I get to just, chat with a bunch of clients and I'm making money in the process. And just like in my 2 months, I've already made pretty much almost all my money back from investing in Christian's program. So if you're on the fence, I'm living testimony of like really just diving deep into this, getting on the calls, the 3 calls a week. The coaches are amazing. I will tell you pretty much what I do is I get on the call with a client, I show them the 17-step email profit formula, and we talk about what they're trying to achieve, their pain points, their strengths, their weaknesses, and what they're trying to grow within their business. I take all that information from my note-taking app. I post all the results of that call into our Discord or into our forum. Hey, this is the results of my call. What should I do? What should I focus on? I make a few suggestions. Christian and the coaches, they respond like, hey, you should do this. This would prioritize that. And I go back to my clients. They have a follow-up call 2-3 days later. I take what I learned in the forum, pitch it in to the next client's call, and I've closed all of them. I'm 100% success rate so far. I'm in the process of, as Christian said, I'm in the process of closing a client that has about 500,000 active email subscribers right now, but their overall database is like 1.3 million. And I would have never done that without Christian, without the coaches, Ian, Stefan. I mean, if you put something in the chat or in the forum, they will respond like hours, minutes, at most a day. And so I go into these calls like 500,000 database of emails. I would have never got on a discovery call without like this program or knowing like I got Christian in my back pocket or like a little email marketing angel on my shoulder. Like if I have any issues, I know I can go to those coaches and Christian and they'll help me out. So whatever I don't know, and this is someone that's never done tech or strategy. I've done a few emails for clients on Upwork, and that's all I did before I got into this program. So just go all in, join the program. I'm telling you, we have a great time. We have people from different backgrounds of email marketing. People have done a lot of other programs of like copywriting, email marketing centric, and we're all in there learning and growing together. It is absolutely awesome. And Christian, you probably got over like 50 hours, 60, 70 hours, honestly, because of all the classes that we have going on. But I mean, one of the best decisions I've made, and I plan to retire out of my career in about 2-3 years and do this full time and just like sell into the sunset. So, but yeah.
You're awesome. You're so badass. Like, also hats off to you because you actually like go to the calls, you ask really good questions, no such thing as a bad question, and you are quick. You apply the feedback quick, like you don't get stuck or frozen. So, hats off to you. And, you are a super strong-willed person, I can tell, but also I can tell that it wasn't like that in the past with email marketing before. It was sort of more like the content I've described before, which is something we've all done, which is not being honest with ourselves about 100% wanting something as bad as we thought. So like, and also just a broken system in the beginning about like, hey, I didn't have a simple, clear strategy to execute, and I was getting lost in a sea of copywriters.
Yeah, exactly. And I will also say, so I went to a mastermind before I joined this program, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm an email copywriter. And there were a bunch of business owners and entrepreneurs. They're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then when I went back to the next mastermind 3 months later, after joining the program, I said, oh, I'm a full stack email marketer. They're like, oh, what is that? I do copy, tech, strategy. They were like, oh yeah, I need to talk to you. It's completely different how people like respond. We say, I do copywriting versus I do all things email marketing. It's an automatic door opener. But for you, Christian, I just want to say thank you. I'm just getting started, but Christian is awesome, you guys. Trust me.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much. And it's awesome to hear from your mouth as well, because I keep telling everybody this over and over. I'm like, nah, I slaughter the events. Like even before I had a lot of social proof, just because I would describe it in a really simple way. And I had like a strategy for nearly everything. So it's really fun, but yeah, thank you. I'm going to, keep crushing it. Keep shooting those messages and stuff. I'm going to share my screen here. Boom. And she's going to stick around too if anybody has any questions in the chat, and then also I'll address them as well. let me just go over some of these questions I have. So yeah, AI, don't even get me started. Like that's just pure FUD. Like, like your monkey brain at this point, if you think AI is like going to replace all copywriters. So I'm not sure I'm qualified. Okay. So this program has to be for pros. I mean, you literally heard from Renata's mouth, like she wasn't an expert. She didn't have well, she knew some copywriting, but she didn't have any experience in the tech and strategy. And so, if you've had at least one client, or if you have my template strategies and systems, you're qualified. And it doesn't matter about your resume. I don't care if I just care about if you're coachable, hungry, and ready to show up like Renata. Okay. Literally, that's it. And that's why not everybody gets accepted if you apply. So, you should 100% apply. You'd be surprised sometimes at like how things show up, but I will be denying people before I even get on a call with them. Just a heads up. But I still would like to connect with you guys. But yeah, not everyone gets accepted. So I'm going to wait until I have a few more things in order. Okay, so story time. I've got like a story for everything. So when I was in my shitty apartment with cockroaches in Mexico, $300 a month, actually less, it was like $250 something a month. I was watching the VSL to, join a program like this, but it only covered copy. And I just knew, yes, I'm ready to get started right now. I don't give a shit about whatever it takes. I got on the sales call with the person and I stopped in mid pitch. I'm just like, look, stop your pitch. I wanted to get started yesterday. Just get me into the program. If it's 5K or less, just run my card right now for the full amount. I don't care. Even though I have tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt. I'm making $2.90 an hour in a cartel infested ghetto. Everything on paper looks fucked. But I knew in my soul and my heart that I wanted this life more than anything. I didn't know if I could do it. I was scared shitless. I had all the doubts in my mind. I didn't think I was that good at tech and strategy. I didn't know anything about copywriting, but I knew I wanted to travel the world. I knew I wanted to have money for my family and money and freedom to do whatever the hell I want. I wanted to live in a beautiful apartment like this. Like when my mom moved into this apartment, she like went, oh, and she like got tears in her eyes and she ran up to the window. She's like, Christian, I've always dreamed about living in an apartment like this. Thank you so much. Like this has been my lifelong dream and you gave it to me. And so I can give that to my mom at 70 years old because of my templates, strategies, and systems and being a full stack email marketer. And it's been a blast. All right. I'm telling you, I just decided to stop waiting for the things I wanted and to start going after them and being honest with myself about, do I actually want this or am I just blowing smoke? Sometimes people say they want it, but then they're like, I'm going to go to YouTube and watch a free video instead of buying a program, getting feedback, and actually pitching clients. Like it feels harder to do that, but it requires the same amount of brain power and effort, in my opinion. It just feels scarier. Like in the beginning, like, of course, watching YouTube is safe and comfortable, and you're never going to be successful if you just get stuck watching YouTube forever. I'm speaking from experience. All right. There was a key moment in my life, and same with Renata's life. This is the exact conversation we had on the call with her, where she's just like, look, I am sick and fed up with currently what I'm doing, and I need to change. And I need a simple strategy and system. And I want to get on your shoulders and jump off from your shoulders and knock out my goals instead of just like trying to make it on my own. Okay. And I said, don't worry, I got you. Just like build momentum, take action. And this isn't that hard. You just need an extra like 10 hours a week to do this. Like realistically, it's just, if you spend that 10 hours a week watching YouTube, you're fucked. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Like you're absolutely fucked and you're never going to make it. And you're going to be in my DMs, like begging me if I have spots open still. I'm literally, that's what's happening right now, like crazy. So you got this. So I believe in you. And like, things got to get nasty and shitty sometimes for you to decide that you actually want to change, and it's okay. Like, some of you guys will leave this call without applying, and that's understandable, I guess, but it's like, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be lost, scared, and stuck. And it's not going to get easier. This is the easiest, simplest, fastest way to go from just starting or wherever you are on your journey to $25,000 a month consistently with copywriting. Because I'm doing things that nobody else in the entire industry is doing. That's why I have all the big clients. It's literally baked into the proof. The proof is in the pudding. All right. So you just have to decide that you're fed up with your shitty, mediocre life and you actually want to live the life of your wildest fucking dreams. And you owe it to yourself because you know this life is possible. All right. I have another story for you guys. This will pump you guys up. So my friend Yogi was born in a small town in Mumbai, India, in the wilderness. All right. He is 21 years old right now, making 20 to 30K a month from copywriting. And I know what you're thinking. Like he wasn't given anything. He had fucking nothing. Okay. He at 14 decided he wanted to get into online marketing. Every day he took a truck to school so that he could save 40 cents a day on paying for a ride. All right. So his dad drove him to work instead of getting on to like the transportation system to save 40 cents a day so that he could save up a few $100s, get his first program. And then now he's making 20 to 30K a month. He's the biggest baller in his entire little city outside of Mumbai, India. He's retired his family. They can do whatever the fuck they want. He's taking him to the Swiss Alps in a 5-star resort. And his dad's going to take off 5 days. He's never had a day off in decades. Let that sink in. So I don't care where you are in life. I surround myself with straight up savages. All right. Because I'm at that point in my life where I love everybody in my circle just crushing it. And even if you don't have the social proof or have the skills yet, I want you in my life too. If you have the same attitude, that's all you need is you just need the attitude to freaking knock this out of the park, which means you don't hesitate, you don't flinch, you take action, and you just decide enough is enough. So forget everything you've done in the past. Forget everything you've done before this moment. Decide that this is your moment now when you want to finally transform your life and pull a Yogi and make 20 to 30K a month. Because otherwise, I almost gave up. I almost gave up in the very beginning of my journey before I even got started. Actually, in Costco, I used to calculate the decades it would take me to retire doing a job I fucking hated. All right, let that sink in. Like I literally on a piece of paper was calculating it. I gave up on my dreams of copywriting and stuff because I was like scared to join a program and all that. And I was watching lots of free YouTube and I gave up for 2 months. But then when I'd log back onto YouTube or I'd log on to free classes like this, and I'd see people living the life of my wildest dreams, that shit would haunt me in my mind, like a splinter in my mind driving me mad. Like that phrase from The Matrix when Neo says that. Like it was a splinter in my mind driving me mad until I physically took action on it. That meant I wasn't hitting snooze on my alarm clock because I couldn't. Even if I hit snooze, I would just lay there with my heart beating out of my chest because I'm like, I have to fucking have this. And that's the moment I decided to change. All right. So you can watch free YouTube content and you can watch my free YouTube content and watch me living the life of my wildest dreams. And one day, hopefully you decide to actually be the main character of your life and not vicariously live your life through other people. Because when your life gets so badass and fun, like you don't want to sit down and watch YouTube. You don't want to watch other people living a badass life because you're like, dude, I could book any place I want in Miami and fill up a boat with a bunch of girls and like do whatever I want. I could travel to any country. I can, like, why would I vicariously want to live through somebody else when, so like be the main character of your life. Grab your life by the balls. You got this. All right. So at this point, you have 2 choices right now. Choice 1, do nothing. You keep trying to figure it out on your own. You keep losing clients who say your copy is great, but you keep wondering why you can't break past 5K a month or 2K a month or even 10. You keep getting outpaced by AI and hungry new freelancers because you don't know how to use AI, you don't know how to close clients and talk about AI with clients. And a month from now, you'll probably still be stuck wondering if you should have just applied. Or choice 2, you at least apply for Full Stack Email Marketer. Go to build that connection with me. Get me in your circle. Get me, Stefan, and Ian in your circle. You get the exact strategies and systems that helped 50% of students close a client in 1 to 3 weeks. A lot of them, it was their first. You learn how to pitch, close, and retain clients using the same strategy and tech and ROI math that I broke down for you, but it goes way more in depth in the actual program on everything. You're surrounded by 3 coaches and a tight-knit crew who won't let you fail. And you'll finally break free from survival mode and build a career that makes you unfireable. But the real risk of all this is doing nothing and watching your window close while other copywriters like me evolve, level up, and take the clients you were meant to land. All right. So let's get into questions. I believe in every single one of you guys. And if you're still on this presentation after all this time, I know you're savage. It'll be successful. So I have, with my current subscription to Webinar Jam, I have 15 minutes to answer questions before they'll cut me off. So let's get into these. All right. I'm going to go to the Q&A section. I'm going to go into the chat. Oh, people are. Yeah, I mean, you can drop your Instagram handle, Renata, if you want. If you're still here, if you want to connect with people, up to you. Okay, I'm going to go to the top. All right, let's go. St. Pete, Nigeria. We got people from everywhere. This is badass. How do you do this fake background? Lily, you guys won't drop the green screen thing. Is this webinar email marketing focused? Yes. Come on, guys. Ask better questions. We got 15 minutes. What if you don't drink or get seasick? Yeah, I don't drink. I'm 100% sober now. But yeah, I've done a good amount of stuff. I just told you I did LSD. Yeah, drop questions in the chat. Okay, what if you're trying to get started with copywriting with no prior experience? So then you need a coach and a program even more. The template and system for this is you're going to need to write emails on a consistent basis to get feedback on your work. You have to do that. That's the only way to be successful with this. If you read copywriting books, if you read Copy in the Wilds, it's going to take you forever to be successful. You have to get feedback on your copywriting from Ian specifically, our A+, A-lister, direct response copywriting coach. That's awesome. Yeah. Renata's finally climbing herself out of an ugly financial hole she was in for 2 years, and now she's starting to see financial freedom for her and her family. What's my favorite band? I'm really liking that song by Bring Me the Horizon. Like, it's like If 10 Statues Cried, but like the gist of the song is like, no one's going to come to rescue you. And I like it, but I'm telling you, I'm here to rescue you, yo. So I got you. Aaron wants to know how much is the program. We'll break it down in a way that's affordable for you. So if you're worried about the price, don't let that stop you from, applying at least to see if you get accepted. Definitely shoot your shot and apply. Okay, Zaid asked, do you think niche matters? No, I've worked in 45 different niches and verticals, and so it doesn't matter for me specifically. I can close clients in any niche, and I have been since the beginning. But that being said, if you have a specialty like a previous career where you were already doing that thing, then you're definitely going to be at a way easier position to get new clients. Like, because if you share any commonalities with the potential clients you want to close, you're way more likely to actually get them and close them. So definitely use that to your advantage. Okay. Syed, the program covers email copywriting only, or does it cover ESPs, deliverability, and other relevant stuff? Yes, Syed, this covers literally everything. This covers like how to set up ESPs, like email service providers, how to set up automations, email deliverability, email tech, email strategy, like everything in between. This is the most comprehensive email marketing program on the planet right now that's still in the game. And we're absolutely slaughtering it. So that's why I'm getting all the big clients, and my students are as well. So Ken said, what do you think about email marketing in Asian countries? I feel like that people aren't really reading emails. Do you have experience with those markets? Well, in my experience, they are reading emails, and I have clients in those markets as well. Not right now, but I have had clients in those markets. And so, yeah, like it's definitely, dude, of course they're reading shit. Like in the Asian countries, that's like saying like, hey, are they not reading shit? It's like, yes, they're reading a lot of shit out there. You know, they're reading tons of books. They're reading emails. Like email is never going anywhere. It's the strongest, safest, most reliable form of copywriting and freelancing as a whole. Okay, Matthew said, does your IG content need to be full of copywriting content or even be recognized as a serious copywriter when DM clients? No, it does not have to be filled with content, not even close. All you have to do is you have to have 3 good posts about copywriting and then pin them to the top of your profile, and that's all you need. And it functions like a website, you know, like your social media profile will function like a website. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, so Daryl asks, having a Gmail address for reach outs is a little frowned upon, right? Other than a business email address? No, not really. It doesn't matter. It's whatever has the best deliverability. Okay. But I mean, if $6 a month is going to give you more credibility, then I guess you use it. But no, it doesn't matter if you're going to do. Remember also what I said about cold email? Like if you don't have you're better off doing messaging on social media, you know, because you're able to look like a real person. They can actually see your face. They can actually see who you are. So like you're way better off. That's a lower hanging fruit to DM them on social media. Evelyn said, can you apply even if you're broke? Yes, at least apply even if you're broke. Because oftentimes, like we have a lot of payment options where we can break down the payment into very, very affordable amounts, like down to $200 or $300 a month if you're from the US specifically, with different payment processors that we have available. So definitely shoot your shot and apply. So Zaid said currently has 3 to 4 clients, but he wants to go all in fitness. Yes. If you have a favorite niche to write in, it becomes way easier because then you can take the same email swipe and you can apply it to all your clients. And that's also how you work a lot less. You only write 1 email a day and send it 5 times. You know, I've had 5 survival clients at the same time. So that's how I worked that. So Matthew asked, what's the best way to get your first client with 0 social proof? Lowest hanging fruit for this is like starting in person. Okay, so go in person if you can and meet them that way, because then you're actually face to face, and there's so much trust and social proof related to that. If you don't have that, do social media and reach out to them on social media and just be very strategic about your templates, strategies, and systems that you give them or bait them into on the call. Then when you get them on the call, then you explain the entire tech strategy and systems I showed you on this presentation and what I also show you in Full Stack Email Marketer in way more depth and detail. All right, Syed, I'll see you on the other side, bro. Alan applied. Let's go, my man. So Dennis said, do you teach business setup stuff like CRM and receiving money? Yeah, that's easy. Don't worry about that. Like I show you how to set up your business so that you can receive lots of money, and you can set up your CRM so that you can, you know, for your sales team, etc., or for your email marketing, like all that in between. Like literally, this is like your one-stop everything for full stack email marketing and business. All right, Aaron said, what kind of clients are we talking about? Internet marketers or real businesses? That's hilarious. Yeah. So I'm assuming you mean brick and mortar businesses, you know, as far as real businesses. But the truth is, every single business needs email marketing, and they are already actively collecting email addresses for if they are doing some serious numbers in majority of cases. So yeah, in this case, we're talking about like, info products, like people that are gurus online selling stuff. That's like a really fun niche to write in. But also real businesses as well, like gyms, rock climbing gyms, literally anything like Costco, like apartment complexes, like everything. And then Aaron said, because real businesses don't understand what full stack means, or do they? It doesn't matter if they understand what full stack means, because you explain it to them right after. You say, hey, it means I cover everything in this regard. You don't have to worry. You don't have to hire a separate person, for example. Like, business owners, they don't want to hire separate people like a copywriter and a tech person and all that, because then you miss different parts of the strategy by hiring multiple people to do the same thing. Like you don't get someone who understands super in depth, like how to do everything. So you don't get as good of results by hiring multiple people to do the job. And also you have to pay more money, first of all, and which means you can charge more to just do it all yourself. And also breakdowns in communication between the team can kill the business owner as well. Okay, Alan says, I'll definitely join you when I make some cash using the things you taught and showed us. Okay, yeah, see you in, man. But yeah, if you don't have like a job or something and you don't have like some cash coming in, you need to do that already. You need to be like, have some cash. Like the program is not a lot to actually join. So like if you don't have the bare minimum amount, then that's like a very severe problem in your life that needs to be fixed. But still, you should apply if you don't have that much. All right, Ken, will you recommend an offer owner to use ActiveCampaign to do email marketing, or GHL is enough for them? GHL is enough for them now that they offer like good segmenting. All right, Matthew says, I need to change my life around, bro, but I have no money at all. How much is the course so I can start saving or something? I can break it down to payments that are affordable for you. But yeah, like you should be getting a job right now, like where you can, be making enough to afford like a small monthly payment, especially from the US. We can break it down to $200 to $300 a month. So don't let that stop you from joining. And yeah, dude, Alan, that's awesome that you joined it so late for you, bro. Mary asked how easy for those of us from third world countries. Well, there's lots of people in the program from third world countries and they're doing amazing. And so you can do it as well. There's no excuse. You just need to have a clear, simple strategy for these clients, and that's how you close them and keep them. It's the same exact process. Viv said, how is Full Stack Email Operator different from some of the other programs like Troy Erickson's list management program or even the Email Dojo? Yeah, so exactly. Troy Erickson's email list manager program is closed down, by the way. And also it's like, does not go nearly in depth with what I have. And also Troy, I work with way bigger clients right now. So hands down, you're going to want to work with the person that has worked with the bigger clients. And then also Email Dojo, they only teach you how to write emails and they only give you some feedback on closing clients. So you're not actually going to make your offer better by becoming a full stack email marketer, which means it's going to be an uphill, hard battle to close clients, keep clients, and yeah, the entire process. So this is the simplest, easiest way to get to 25,000 US dollars a month consistently. And this is the only program out there that'll show you how to do this as well right now out there in the wild. So literally you can look, there's nothing else out there. Not even, yeah, there's nothing. Because that one shut down and then the Email Dojo is completely different. I'll send the replay out soon. Yeah. And so, yeah, basically everybody, that's it. That is the completion of this free training, and make sure you apply right now. Drop the link in there, Marianne. Go ahead and apply for Full Stack Email Marketer, especially if you're from the US, because there's payment plan options that break it down into ridiculously low amounts, like $200 to $300 a month. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys inside, and I'm super excited for this to be your moment where you decide that you're done taking bullshit. You're done letting money be an excuse to join. It's like, dude, I've been tens of thousands of dollars in credit card debt. I've made $2.90 an hour living in a cartel infested ghetto. My life was fucked. And I put $5K on the line on a credit card to make this work. So like, I don't buy like the whole, like, I'm too broke to do something. I've been way broker than everybody on this call. I've had way less than everybody on this call, and I've overcome it all. And I'm not special. There's nothing about me that's special. I've literally just walked the process, been through all the trials and hardships, and I discovered systems, templates, and strategies that made me rise to the top in a very short amount of time. And my students are doing the exact same thing, and they're unlocking the life of their wildest dreams. Mad love, everybody. Peace.